Good day, welcome to the Pilates class today, and we're going to be focusing on moving the spine in all directions. So a lovely spine mobility class for you. So Joseph Pilates was all about the spine. He wasn't really so core focused as they are nowadays with contemporary Pilates. His rule of thumb was you are only as old as your spine. So he was very, all of his main focus was always about spine mobility. So we are going to come to all fours, and we have got a little bit of kneeling to do and stuff today. But like I said, we're not going to be staying there too long, so pad yourself with knees. We're not flowing in and out of stuff, so you can always just shove a load of cushions under your knees, or just come onto your back and just bring your knees into your chest just for a few little minutes while we do this one. So we're going to be starting with the knees directly under the hips and the wrists and elbows under the shoulders. Now when it comes to wrists under the shoulders, some people have sore wrists, so you can always take those hands a little wider and have them turned out. Sometimes I find I need to come onto the knuckles, so I'm up over there. Or you can even come down onto elbows, and you can still do the cat-cows on your elbows. So you have that choice as well. Or even having something else under your hands so that your fingers can hang off of the end. That can also help the wrist sometimes. So you can pick any of those options for you. So I'm just going to have my hands slightly turned out. Now when we come to all fours, just be aware that you're not sagging in your tummy and your back. So you can see my belly's just hanging. It looks stunning, Dad. So now what you want to do is draw the tummy in so that your lower back is flattened. Okay, so we're really hugging in the belly. Your gaze is going to be towards the front of the mat, not between the hands. But I want you to quickly look between your feet and make sure you can't see your feet. Look between your knees and make sure you can't see your feet so they're not coming together. So tummy's drawn in, gaze to the front of the mat. Take a big breath in. And then as you breathe out, you're going to stick your tailbone under and bring your pubic bone towards your heart. And start to curl through each vertebra, all the way to the top. Push the shoulder blades apart. And when you can't go anymore, just relax the head down. So we're not actively pushing the head down, just let it hang. Hold it there, and then see if you can encourage a round back. Relax the back of your legs and your bum cheeks, so really making these abdominals work a little harder. Inhale, tailbone to the ceiling. Now roll your shoulders so that you can lift your heart forward and up. Now I personally don't like looking up with this. My gaze will be a little bit more to the front of the mat. But even in this position, make sure you're not just letting your belly go. So really hug the tummy in. And then exhale, taking it into the round part. So this is called flexing the spine. I often like to give my cat's tail a little wiggle. And just notice in your body, like, where's the tightness? What's feeling achy? What's feeling stiff? So for me today, I know I generally have a lot of tightness in this hip. And then, when you work through your class, you just have to be a little bit mindful of where you feel these sticky areas. Inhale back to your cow. Drawing in the tummy, lifting the heart, gazes a little further forward. And then start to go with your breath. Flexing the spine in your cat. And as you come into your cow, that's called an extension when we bend the spine backwards. And then we're coming back to all fours. So this is one of my favorite exercises with my clients. They seem to hate it for some reason. So from here, just come down for a moment, and we're just going to give the wrists a little shake. And while you do that, you can watch what I'm going to do. So we're going to come into what I call a thread the needle prep. So we're not going to do the full thread. We're just going to do the prep part, and I might just face you for this one. So I like to do this on the floor where I've got something to grab on with my hands. So the knees stay under the hips. I am going to talk you through this. Your right hand, put it underneath, and then put your hand on the floor. And then from there, I'm just going to try and drag myself around, basically. So that I'm twisting the spine. The supporting arm, I'm still pushing away, and I'm just using the hand to kind of help me around. And then we'll come back and we'll do the other side. Okay, so that's kind of the movement. So coming to all fours. I'm going to start with the left hand this time because that's the side you want. So put the hand underneath, so between your elbow and your knee. Now when you lift your left hand, try and put your weight into your left leg so that the right leg is quite soft. Put the left hand palm facing down, and then just try and walk your hand away. Keep pushing away with your supporting arm so that you're not sinking into the shoulder, and try and keep that arm straight. Your gaze follows the same direction as the hand. Breathe in. And then can you go a little further? Come back to the center. Even the balance, the weight. Now put all the weight into your right knee. We're going to lift the right hand, put it underneath, hand on the floor, and just start to walk away. Notice if the weight has gone into the left leg. So often we'll want to rock over to the side. So keep that weight in your right knee, and just try and swivel the spine around. Big breath in the twist. And then as you exhale, hug the spine. Can you go a little further? Keep pushing away with that left arm. I feel like I've got a big click in my back that wants to happen. That's what I love about it. Come back to the center, and then we do the other side. Oh, that's it. This is one that I really, really like. And the clients go, oh, I hate this one. Maybe you hate it, maybe you like it. But be aware that the bum's not dropping, you're not twisting. And sometimes I like to give the little tail a wiggle. Just see, it's like, oh yes, it's getting right into there. Coming back to the center, we'll just do one more on the other side. Making sure the weight is down through your right knee. So the left knee is soft, it's just helping to keep the body in the same place. Having that little twist, and then come back to the center. And then taking your weight down onto your heels. So that is called a thread the needle prep. Like I said, that's just what I call it. So we're going to come into a seated position now. And have your legs on your right-hand side. I feel like sneezing. Now, if you have got a limited mobility in the hip and the knee, and you can't sit like this, you can also have your legs in that position, or have your legs in that position, or have your legs in that position. I'll give you options with those. So we're going to do something called the mermaid. So we've done twisting, we've done a little bit of forward bending and back bending. We're now going to do some side bending, okay? So left hand is on the floor. So from left hand is on the floor, right hand is on your right ankle. Turn your left palm so it's facing the ceiling. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, just take it into the side bend towards your right hand side. And just relax this right shoulder. Now imagine the head and the shoulders are against a wall, so we're not dropping forward. Inhale, lift your left hand, take it to the floor. Now we're going to slide out onto the elbow. Take your right hand up to the ceiling. Take it over the head, palm facing the floor. Now from here, you're going to lift your rib cage and imagine you're trying to touch the floor with that top hand. But you want to be pushing out of your left shoulder. So we don't want to be sagging there. There wants to be space between your ear and your shoulder. And then really draw those rib cages up. So we're trying to pop this top rib cage. Here's your challenge, taking a breath in. Now, as you exhale, you're going to use these obliques and these abdominals to bring you into seated. And then take it back up and over. So we'll do another one slowly and then we'll speed it up. So inhale, hand comes up, sliding it out into the elbow, breathing out, hand goes over the top, and then lift that rib cage. Inhale, hand comes up, use your tummy, use your tummy, use your tummy. Take it back up and over again. So your head, can either gaze up, which is quite challenging, or you can just look down towards this foot. Inhale, hand comes up, slide it out onto your elbow, top hand goes over, lift your rib cage. Now we're going to add something on. Take your top shoulder and just drop it slightly, and then reach. And now hug your tummy in as though you're trying to round the back a little bit. So imagine you've got like, there's a little bug or something walking towards your belly. You're pulling the belly in, and hopefully you can feel that stretch right down the back over there. Come back to face in the front. Bring the hand back up again. Last little stretch there. And then bring it down. So we're going to switch sides. So again, if you need to keep those legs, you're just going to be working into the side ones. So popping your legs onto your left side. Left hand holds onto the foot. Bring the right hand up and just take it into a stretch. So you might even see me on this side. It's so much tighter. So what I've discovered recently is the way I sleep is causing a lot of issues in the back over there. And this is what Pilates is about, trying to bring the balance to the body. So now I'm trying to force myself to sleep in a different position. Inhale, top hand comes up. Take the hand to the floor, slide the elbow out. Top hand comes over, palm facing the floor. Lift the rib cage. Inhale, top hand comes back. Use your tummy muscles to bring your arm back up and over. Reaching that top hand away. Inhale, come up. Hand comes to the floor. Exhale, take the hand up and over. So for me, this side, I do feel stretching, but it's not as intense as the other side. So this is telling me that my tightness is on my right side. Good. And then last one, bring the hand down. Take the top hand over, hold it there, and now drop that top shoulder. Hug your tummy in and try and reach with that arm a little further. Face in the front. Bring yourself back up again. Last little stretch too in the right side. And then come back up and release. I do like the Little Mermaids. I like all the Pilates exercise. Right, so we're going to come into a forward bending position and really focusing on this part of the lower back. So at the lower back, we have a really chunky part of fascia. And it helps the top and the bottom half of the body to stay together. But what can happen is fascia needs to be stretched and released and moved, like the muscles and all the skin. And if we don't, it can become quite sticky and clumpy and very stiff. So often when people, tight, it might not necessarily be the muscle, it might be this fascia. So we need to focus on releasing fascia as well. And we're going to do that with one exercise that's called From the Hip. And this is also a fantastic exercise for sciatica prevention or trying to reduce the symptoms of sciatica. And now if you do suffer with sciatica, you pop yourself up onto a block. It just moves where the impingement is. Well, it doesn't move where the impingement is. It moves where the bend's coming from. So you might avoid where the impingement is. If you also find that you're sitting in this kind of position, sit on a block. It'll just help to give your hips and your back a little bit of space. And if you can, have your feet flexed. That's going to put the rear part of the body, the posterior parts of the body into a stretch. And then it also stretches all those muscles around the sciatic nerve. Now, if you do sit on a block and you have hypermobile knees or they bend quite a lot and you're on a block, just pop a little cushion behind the knees just to support the knee joint. Okay, but I'm not going to sit on a block. So keeping those feet active, have your hands on the floor next to you. Sitting nice and tall. Now lift your collarbones. Okay, so you're coming to a very slight back bend here. Breathe in. Now drop your chin to your throat and take your head to your knees. So I really want you to think of rounding. Keep that chin really tucked into your throat and you're going to sweep the floor as far forward as you can. So you might notice on me, my hands go towards, let's say, the leggings. And I want you to just pay attention in your own body. And then inhale, come up, grow nice and tall, shoulders back and down. As you exhale, go a little further. So now you might have noticed, look here, my fingers are now towards my ankles. At the end of your exhale, bring yourself back up again. So I want you to have a really long breath out going into that position. And then as you inhale, just think of the body filling with air. Exhale. Head's going to the knee, chin is staying tucked in. And now you can see my hands are towards the feet. And then inhale as you come up. And this is how quickly the tissues in the body can give. So I'm not a fan of the stretch because of my hamstrings. They don't like it, but it's what I need. But what I do like about this is you see improvements so quickly. So exhale, head to knees. Be mindful if you are quite flexible that you're not trying to lie flat on the legs. You really are trying to stay rounded. So head to knees. So think of almost trying to take your forehead towards your pubic bone and reach in those legs. So now you can see my hands are even further. Long exhale. Inhale up. Grow nice and tall. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Good. We're going to change this move slightly, and I want you to bring your legs into a butterfly position. So the soles of the feet are together. If you have any pain in your knees, you can either have straight legs or bent legs, or sit on a block and it lifts your hips, which moves any discomfort in the knee, okay? So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to have the legs in a different place and see how that feels in your back now. So hands on the floor, breathe in, chin to chest, and reach a little bit more forward. And then inhale as you come back up, grow nice and tall. We're just going to do a couple of them. I just want you to notice how putting your legs into a different position can change the exercise. Does this help you to feel it more in your back? Maybe you feel it more in your hips, chin to chest. And then inhale as you come back up again. Help your knees together. And then we're going to come on to front lying. So we've done 3 spine movements now. We've done the forward bending, we've done twisting, we've done side bending. We're going to do back bending now. So we'll lie on the front. And if you have big boobs or a big belly, or you have kyphosis where your spine is quite round, you might just want to put a block under your forehead so that your neck is straight. So I'm going to use a block just so that my microphone doesn't get muffled. And you'll come on to there. So sometimes I will say to you, have your legs in a certain position. For what we're doing today, and I'm focusing on the back, you can have your legs together, you can have them a little wider, you can have them quite wide and turn out. Entirely up to you. We're just going to focus on the spine. So, whatever leg position you choose, and then have your hands down to the side of you. So your palms will be facing up, and just relax for a moment. Draw your belly button away from the mat, so hug your tummy in. Send your pubic bone into the floor. Engage your bum cheeks and reach your legs away. So my legs are not coming off of the floor, they're just soft. So my quads are active, my calves. Roll your shoulder blades together, lift the hands. Now my palms are facing the legs, and float the head up. Now try and squeeze your shoulder blades together a little more, and can you come up a little higher? So you really got to use your bum for this. Keep your gaze down, so we don't want to be looking up there. Keep the gaze down, and then relax down. And have a little shake.
So excellent for back strength and opening up the chest. Especially if you sat at a computer all day, this is excellent for you. So pull your tummy in, send your pubic bone into the floor, engage the legs. Roll your shoulder blades together, have the palms facing in, float the head up. Really try and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Now try and touch your ankles with your toes. So actively pull the shoulders away from the ears. Gaze is towards the mat. And then release down. I'm just going to do a couple more. I always get really hot with these. I don't know if it's the exercise or hot flush. So belly button, pubic bone, legs, shoulder blades, hands, head. So send those shoulders right down. Now what I want you to do is focus on your bum. Start to squeeze your bum as hard as you can so the legs start to come off of the floor. Now can you try and lift your back a little more and reach those fingers. So be mindful if your knees are bending, really try and stretch those legs away. And then relax back down, have a little wiggle.
Stand by. Possibly a hot flush, that one. So we've just got one more to do. I tend to
boil when I lie in front. Last one. Tummy pulls in, pubic bone into the mat, reach your legs away. Roll the shoulder blades together, lift the hands, and float the head up. Now from here, focus on your bum, squeeze your knees, and try and lift your legs as high as you can. Now try and lift the back higher and try and send your hands closer to your feet. Keep the gaze down so your neck is straight. Hold it there for 5, 4, come on, you can do it, 3, 2, 1, and then relax it down. Bring the hands under the shoulders, slowly push yourself up, and then you can either go back to those cat-cows, or if you prefer a child pose, whatever feels nice. So always ask yourself, what does my body want right now? Normally my clients will go, gin and tonic. Maybe you want. And then once you've had a little release, coming back into a seated position. So we've worked the spine through a little bit of a warm-up with the cat-cow, side bending. So this is a lovely routine if you just want to loosen your back off, if you're feeling really stiff. Maybe you've been on holiday and you haven't done any exercise, or you've been stuck on an aeroplane for hours. Sometimes you just really want to get your spine moving, and this is a great little class for that. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Here comes another hot flash. And I will see you in another Pilates class. Bye.